Hey everyone, we are on our way to Wall, New Jersey for VCF East. It's me and my son Jim.
Hi.
Hi Jim. And we decided to stop at the former home of MOS Technology, 950 Rittenhouse Road in Norristown, PA. So MOS took occupancy here in 1969 or 1970. Can't remember. And this is where they used to do, it was a chip fab. So this is where they cranked out all the 6502s and all the 6502 derivatives. So there are literally this unassuming building in rural farm country in eastern Pennsylvania was making semiconductors in the 70s and in the 80s up to 94 that are literally all over the world. And then when Commodore went bankrupt in 94, I can't remember exactly how things went. It went to a bankruptcy trustee, and I know that the court, I think, allowed the trustee to put it in the hands of an auctioneer. So it was Ross Dove Auctioneers. And I don't think that auction was successful. And GMT Microelectronics, which I don't actually know this, but if you believe Wikipedia, GMT Microelectronics was former Commodore managers who bought the place and started manufacturing semiconductors here again. They were here, I can't remember when they tanked, but they were shut down by the EPA, I think, in the early 2000s. This was one of 3 Commodore Chip Fabs when Commodore bought MOS Technology in 1976. I think November of 1976. They continued making chips here. MOS was making the Kim 1s here before Commodore bought them. So there's a lot of storied history in this building. After Commodore bought MOS, they kept making chips here. They had this, Frontier Manufacturing in California, and Optical Diodes, Inc. They were the 3 companies that Commodore referred to as the Commodore Semiconductor Group. To my knowledge, that was never an actual legal entity. It was just an internal name used by Commodore. So it's looking pretty run down. I guess this place has been vacant for just about 20 years now. I mentioned this was one of Commodore's chip fabs, but if you ever look at any of the MOS chips, CSG chips, and look underneath, you'll notice they all say Singapore or Taiwan. You'll never find one that says Norristown, Pennsylvania. It's because they didn't do production chip fab here. So I think all the chips that came out of here would have been ceramics. They did the silicon here, and then they shipped them overseas for finished packaging. So all of the, probably can't see in the video, but all of the windows are boarded up. All the doors are boarded up. It's looking really run down. I remember hearing they were supposed to tear this building down. That obviously has not happened yet because it's still here. Looking in through the windows though, you can actually see through to the sky in places. So there doesn't appear to be much of a roof left here. So, after we leave here, we're going to be on our way to New Jersey and hang out with a bunch of Commodore folks there at VCF East. But we wanted to stop here on the way and do a little pilgrimage. Man, it's looking run down. Mold, mildew everywhere. So I walked around back before, but I was accidentally live streaming, not in the group, just on my personal page. I guess I can walk back there again. I mean, I'm old, but not that old. You can see a lot of no trespassing signs everywhere, so we're gonna try to not get booted off the property and just walk around the outside. It's amazing when you look at old pictures of this building, how grown up everything is. All this vegetation was tiny in the old pictures. Pretty cool because this is really just right off Interstate 76. So we were literally driving past this to get to New Jersey. So made for a really nice little, oops, there's a Corona bottle that I almost tripped over. Yeah, we'll walk around the back one more time before Jim and I get back in the car and finish our trek to Wall, New Jersey. Deceptively large building. It's interesting because it's, well, I guess some of the other ones are big too. Wish I could remember the name of the bar that all the Commodore employees used to go to. I don't know if it's still there, but we are in the neighborhood. It'd be cool to make a little trip there and see if that's still around. I said everything is locked up and no trespassing signs everywhere, so I don't want to do anything that would land me in jail before I get to VCF East. We're just going to stay on the outside here. Yeah. And I think this is where the tanks were, where the groundwater contamination took place. So this is an EPA Superfund site. The United States Environmental Protection Agency has this on a list to clean up the site. So we probably don't want to be eating any of the dirt here. Not that that's something I would normally do anyway. So you can see the back of this building. I mean, this place is huge. Whole bunch of new cars over there. So I guess somebody's leasing the building next door, or at least the lot behind it or whatever. But yeah, I think this is where the tanks were. There's a goose there. Obviously not at all bothered by my presence. So we can get a nice pan here. That's the back of the building. It's a pretty famous shot. I've seen a lot of pictures of this, I'm sure. Here's Jim over there hanging out. It's everything. I don't know that I have a lot more to show you or a lot more to say about it. So next time I see you, I will be in New Jersey at VCF East. And Jeff, I will see you there too. Have a good one, everyone.